Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. With Bitcoin, we've seen a bit of a reaction here just ahead of the weekly candle close. Usually sort of towards the end of my weekly member live stream, we see some kind of movement, and today we did see that again. It didn't happen last week, I think, but usually on the Sunday when the weekly candle close approaches, you do see some movement, and today as well. So it's highly interesting. We take a look at that because it goes in the direction of the expected price action, which is to the upside. Here we talked about short-term upside being very likely in a wave 2, and this is now playing out. I changed the wave count a little bit though, but I'll zoom in a minute. Overall, my expectation here for Bitcoin is still that Bitcoin hasn't seen its low yet. I think we will still see another low. That doesn't have to happen immediately, but Bitcoin, in my opinion, is not yet in a larger breakout pattern. Here you can see what I think the most likely development is. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the fifth wave down in an ending diagonal to basically finish off the bear market. So the assumption is a wave 4 was put in place here at around 20,500. If we now, in any move to the upside, go above it, I would not, primarily because of the entire chart structure, I would not see this as bullish. I would only see it as a corrective move to the upside, and that possibly and probably wave 4 was not finished yet, or that wave B or 5 wasn't finished yet. Okay, so wave 5 is an ABC wave, and that's sort of my assumption here at the moment, that we will move possibly a little bit higher, but this also depends on some key resistance and support levels and some conditions that need to be fulfilled. So finally we see some movement. If I zoom in a little bit here, we can see that Bitcoin moved to the upside. I cleaned the chart up a little bit until yesterday or today. I had here the wave 1 here and said this is most likely an ABC, but with the latest development, which looks very much like a 3-wave structure, I find this development a little bit or this wave count a little bit clearer and makes more sense, that we are currently putting in place here just an ABC, and we're now in the impulse of the wave C, which will finish off the wave 2. You can see that now we broke out of this descending channel, out of the corrective channel, which is a sign of a short-term trend shift to the upside. We, however, stay currently below the yellow line here, which is the 50-day moving average, which is at 19,600. You can see how the price reacted to that level. Touched it and got rejected. However, in my opinion, we are consolidating bullish here, so short-term bullish, which means we could push a bit higher. There are now certain key resistance levels. If we break one of these levels or two, this will then determine how much I need to change the wave count. So if I look at this, we can see the next key resistance level is at 19,700. That is this wave 2 high. If we break above that, my first assumption would be that this wave 2 was never finished, and that we maybe here had an A, B, C, so that the wave 2 just stretches out a little bit. Should we, however, break above the 19,950 level, then I will have to assume that wave B was never finished and that the 1-2 has never started. Okay, so just to reiterate or explain again, at the moment, due to Bitcoin's wider chart structure, I'm treating at the moment any move to the upside as purely corrective, which means that I don't think we are in a sustainable breakout yet. Of course, acknowledging we could go higher short term, but that this is not yet a sustainable breakout. If it is one, then Bitcoin will be able to show us that by pushing up in 5 waves and then a reaction to the downside in 3 waves. So basically an impulse to the upside and a correction to the downside. We are far away from that. And should we then also break above the 20,500 level, which is entirely possible, I would just assume that this wave 4 was never finished. Showed you that in the beginning of the video. So for me at the moment, it's all just corrective to the upside. This could push a little bit higher. I would currently assume that we are, even though the wave count is not entirely clear, that this was possibly a wave A, this a B, and we're now pushing up in the wave C. And if this is the count, I can also give you an ideal target. But to be honest, we can't move much higher anyway, because if we do, it will invalidate basically this wave 2, and we have to go to the higher level one. But in this one, really it shows we could max out this whole thing, because an ideal target comparing the length of wave A and C would take us to 19,678, which is just below the $19,700 level here, the resistance, right? And again, if we push above that, I would just have to expect that, or assume that this wave 2 here stretched out a bit further. So yeah, acknowledging currently we can move higher, I actually think that's not too unlikely, as long as we stay above the wave B low. So against the low of 19,090, here the wave B low, against that low we can assume we go higher. Only if we break this low, I would assume we are already coming down in the third wave, okay? At the moment, this is the next meaningful low, and breaking below that, I would assume that we will come already lower in the third wave. So keep an eye on that level. On the flip side then, those key levels that I mentioned to you are the breakout points to take us to the next milestone on the upside. Yeah, that's my update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.